this video, I asked photographers what has been a recent source of inspiration.
Honestly, nothing. Maybe my inspiration comes from working. Take a bunch of pictures nowadays. That's it.
Right now is being in New York City. Of course, like someone who comes here couldn't say that. But other than that, I guess like my friends and like just being with them and just like being around them and shooting with them. You know, the guys from London, Cal, Gautier, Peter, Mike, Kenny, like everyone that is kind of part of the group of people that I'm with in London. His palms are sweating.
All right, recent source of inspiration, Danny Lyons. Always been a fan of him, but that movie I think it came out or it's about to come out, kind of made me rediscover his stuff. I went through the books that I have, and yeah, he's been like, always been a source of inspiration for me, but to kind of go through the books again, and every time I go through it just hits me and kind of propels me to, you know, do my thing. The way he chose his subject really mattered to him, and it started from like the civil rights movement from the beginning, and it continued like throughout his work, you know, all the way to the end. Like he did not care about profiting or using photography as a source of income. Like he just made books about things he really cared about, and that was like his bottom line, and he kept that through his whole career was like that, and that's amazing to me.
Shooting weddings, obviously. I can't stop talking about it. Honestly, it's like street photography and wedding photography has such a crossover. None of us make money doing street photography, realistically. And I don't know, I think I found just like a lane in weddings where it's like you can do that, and there's people who want that real life, not forced, corny type of photography. And it just feels like home. Like you just go to a wedding and there's so much emotion there, and there's so much happiness, there's sadness. It's like every emotion. And I heard someone say once, it's like this person's Super Bowl. Like they're at the Super Bowl. This is the biggest day of their life, and you're there and you get to shoot it. It's like the best thing ever. So doing that, and it's also like crossed over to the street, like street crossed over to weddings. And then now weddings, as I'm shooting weddings, I'm looking for emotion, I'm looking for gestures and micro details. It's the same thing when I go to the street now, and it's like I'm in tune with that side too. So they've kind of like married, and I'm super inspired. It was a friend. It's my friend Sam. Shout out, Sam Dahl. Check her out. Liked my street photography and was like, I want you to shoot my wedding. I trust your eye. And I did it with a friend, Wade, and he taught me a bit. Because you go into it and you don't know, and you think you need to take this type of photo. The kissing photo is so important. It's not. It's like I was at a workshop this weekend for wedding photography, and someone said, you have 8 hours. Like, if you don't get the kiss, like, it's fine. It's such a small piece of the puzzle. These families coming together, and it's true. Like, I was so intimidated with weddings because it's such an important day. But like, you're there, you have a camera, and if people trust you to do it, you can do it. But I would recommend doing one for free. No strings attached, like a family member or a friend. There's no pressure. You just do what you want to do. Take chances, be creative, don't go for safe stuff. So easy to go for safe photos, but, and you can go for safe photos too, but mix it up.
And sometimes when you're trying to find inspiration, the best thing you can do is switch it up. And that's easy to do with the sponsor of today's video. With KEH, you can easily find a new lens and a new camera for you to start feeling inspired again. If you typically shoot a rangefinder, try an SLR. If you typically shoot an SLR, try a digital point and shoot. If you've never shot a medium format camera, now's your chance. KEH is your best source for buying used camera gear online. With 45 years of experience in grading, repairing, and appraising cameras, you know exactly what you're gonna get. Every purchase comes with a 21-day return policy alongside a 180-day warranty. So buy now, buy with confidence. Do not hesitate. Use that link in the description of this video to get that piece of gear that you've been wanting. And now let's get back to asking other photographers what has been a recent source of inspiration for them.
Cinema. I've been going to the movies a lot this summer, trying to beat the heat. late afternoon, go hide in a movie theater for a while, and then come back out when the temperature comes down about 6 degrees. So yeah, I've been to a lot of movies this summer, and they've been a huge inspiration. Most recently, the Kubrick film Barry Lyndon, which I had heard about for many years and never seen, and it blew my mind both as a movie and just photographically. He had to borrow like special lenses from NASA and people like that to make the film the way he wanted, and it's just an incredibly shot film. Really great shit. Well, I don't tend to go to see like kind of new blockbuster stuff. Like I'm looking for something that might actually appeal to my thoughts about life and emotion and whatever. I don't know. I always have like kind of a list in the back of my head of things that I'm interested in, but there have also been times recently where there wasn't anything playing that I really knew much about, and then I would just kind of like read a review and be like, oh, that sounds like it could be interesting. I see a lot of foreign films, a lot of independent films, a lot of old films. Not much like, you know, I don't go to superhero stuff or anything like that.
So I would have to say a recent source of inspiration for me has been people. Seeing people's work, seeing people out like actually shooting, interacting with them, and like really taking in their work and their processes and stuff. I mean, honestly, the amount of people that I've managed to meet in Midtown itself is like creative people, at least too. Like people finding the most beautiful things in all this chaos. It's nice to see that and take inspiration from that whenever I'm going for a walk or whatever it is. So definitely the people. One person I want to shout out, honestly, this dude Eli Jacobson on IG. He's been doing a lot of crazy shit with like wide angle photography. So I love what he's been doing, and I mean, I hope to run into him a little bit more and see him out here actually making art, but definitely like what he's been doing.
Being in New York, that's more inspiration than I can handle. It's making me crazy. Try to be here once a year for 4 weeks at different times of the year to get all the events and stuff like that. And every time I just don't want to leave. I don't want to go back to Germany because street photography is not allowed in Germany. I cannot do anything, so I have to come here.
Recent source of inspiration for me, I've been looking at a lot of Leif Friedlander's work. Me and him actually have the same birthday. And so, you know, we're both Cancers. I don't know, I don't believe in astrology like that, but it's interesting. I think that his work is beautiful. His self-portraits are amazing, so that's something that I've been striving to make more work of. And the fact that he shoots like primarily black and white, which I've been doing this year, also has helped me with my vision of what I want to do with my work. So there's 2 books that I got somewhat recently. One is his self-portrait book, which is like 30 or 40 years of self-portraits, which is really cool. And then one other one was I got in Tokyo last year, which is a book of like all photos of like pictures of JFK and like paintings of JFK. It's just kind of fascinating to find like a body of work based on like one of my favorite presidents. Not that I was alive, but I think he's probably like he has controversy around him like all presidents, but I think it's interesting that he made a whole body of work about JFK. So those are probably the 2 books that I like the most.
Honestly, like there has been a lot because like I just been like working and going home a lot these days. I'd say movies actually. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of movies like here and there, like snippets. I mean, this isn't really a movie, but I've been watching a ton of The Sopranos lately. The way it's shot, as far as just like where like the people are placed, how people are moving in and out of the scenes and whatnot, or even just like settings. I've really kind of got attracted to that, especially like taking more photographs in Queens, like where it's just like calm, rural, just people like living their daily life and shit like that. I kind of like it now. Ooh, dang. I mean, you can't go wrong with Unc, man. You know, good old Tony. I'm trying to get the body up right. You feel me? I don't have the kids yet, but it's coming. Wait, it's not coming. Actually, no. Let's not do that. Whoa.
I can say other photographers in the area as well. Watching your videos for sure. The one today with Yuki was really good. It was the deciding factor of, do I really want to go out today because it's so hot? But and then seeing your video today really inspired me to be like, yeah, you know what? I'd like to go out today and take some photos.
Man, photo books. I've been buying photo books,
looking through old photo books that I've like been sitting on my shelf for a while. I've also just been looking at a lot of other people's work, which has been like, for a while I was trying to avoid it. I think like making sure that my stuff doesn't look like other people's stuff, but then, I don't know, man, I think there's something about looking at other people's work that can really like push you and like steer where you want to go. Because I think like, while you look at somebody else's work and be like, man, there's something about, like, you may be looking at the lighting or you may be looking at the composition and then just feel like I should apply that to my own stuff, even if it's not street, or, you know, even if it's like in your living room. It's like, how are people thinking about composition and doing that? So I've also just been doing a lot of people watching. So like, I think getting back to like feeling like I'm telling a story or feeling like I'm connecting with people a little bit more than what I was doing, which is kind of like a lot of quick captures and stuff like that. And I was feeling a little disconnected from what I was making. And I think now it's like, it's just switching it up, kind of observing, like hearing people's stories, having a conversation with somebody on the street for like 15 minutes. Yeah, man, I think like that's got me feeling really good. Just other people's work, a lot of photo books, and just connecting with people in general. I recently picked up Baldwin Lee's book. I just picked up Raheem Fortune's hardtack book, which is incredible. I gotta shout out. I mean, everyone mentions this book, but Vivian Meyer, the 6x6. I've been out with the Hassie lately, and just seeing how she would compose a 6x6 frame and kind of fill the frame with like just only what was needed. It's just a thing of art. It's just like, man, it's crazy. So recently that, and then Magnum Stories has been like a big one that I've been putting on my like Instagram stories a lot lately, but those are just incredible books. I know I'm forgetting some.
I mean, I think community is the biggest inspiration that I've seen. As a photographer that has been going through a little bit of a dry spell creatively, been kind of in a little bit of a rut, it's been really great to see you know, my peers around me and people I look up to, and even, you know, people that are just learning kind of start thriving and flourishing. And it's been giving me more inspiration to kind of get back out there and, you know, work on more personal projects and stuff like that. Just to name a few, you know, Matt Moneth, Mark Franklin, Brian Fluker. You know, it's just I have so many people in my life that are providing inspiration, which I'm really grateful for. You see images rolling in from disposables to professional shoots to weddings to everything, and it's been really great to see not only how like the film community is just continuing to grow in ridiculous ways, but just seeing what people are choosing to shoot, you know, with film, whether it's random moments or memories or, you know, professional client work.
I've been really inspired lately by a lot of other contemporary New York photographers. So people doing stuff now that I feel like is semi-original, even though there's so many people here shooting. I feel like there's a couple characters that are like really doing a good job getting something different. Boris Apple, dude. I don't think we've ever chatted, but you the GOAT, dude. You're killing it. For one, the commitment to the black and white is interesting because I'm obsessed with color. So it's like, it's weird for me to take inspiration from lack of color, I guess. But I think a big part of it is that it seems like he's kind of put himself in a neighborhood where he's one of the few people shooting. It just looks like a whole different side of New York, you know? So for me, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the best at this lately, but I think finding photographers that are actually like really new to photography and just seeing like how obsessed they are, how passionate they are. Actually, I hate to say it, but the old guys, they get really complacent and they get really tired. Really, I mean, me, even myself included. So maybe just, clinging to people who are new and enthusiastic, piggybacking on their passion.
You know what's crazy? I have not been inspired at all. Honestly, probably not shooting. I've been slow these days. Maybe that's it. There is no inspiration. No, I'm lying, bro, I'm lying. I love new books. I just got a new book. Why do I always get these books that don't mean anything? No, I quit that. There's no inspiration. There's no inspiration. You inspire me. This guy right here inspires me. Sorry, bud. All right, I can be serious, I think. I feel like just seeing what I see is just enough to inspire me to go out. Like, Kazu is fucking incredible. This guy is incredible. Dustin. Oh my God, the list can go on. Boris is lit. Love that fucking dude. James Berkeley? I can give that man a hug for 24 hours. I love that guy. I'm not gonna just name all these New Yorkers because there's Philly heads that's going crazy. Kareem Brown, he's always snapping. Eli, he's in the cut, but he's got it. Oh my God, Counteractive. Ooh, I love it. I love New York. There's so many people. Dog, I wish I had a better answer for you, and I don't.
You're
I'm
good.
so sorry. I told you I'm not good at pop quizzes. That's so goofy.
Hey, what's up? I guess I should answer this question too. I got 3 things, and I'm gonna start from the least recent to the most recent. The first thing I'm gonna say is traveling. Earlier this year, from February till April, I hit San Francisco, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Atlanta, and just being able to connect with communities and connect with individual photographers and see how they shoot in the pace of those cities, and that's kind of had me inspired and excited to continue traveling in the back half of this year. I got a couple of trips lined up that I need to solidify, so that's number one, just traveling and meeting photographers from other parts of the country. Number 2 is a couple months ago, I was at this used bookstore. I just popped in, I came across this Todd Papa George book called American Sports 1970. You probably heard of this book, or maybe you've heard of this book, but when I talked to other photographers about photographic events, sporting events, or parades, or anything like that, the general consensus is, don't make the photos about the parade, don't take photos of the parade, turn the camera around on the crowd, or that kind of general sentiment. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that's probably the way to go when you shoot parades and events. And I've used that philosophy when shooting events this year, parades this year, like the Mermaid Parade or St. Patty's or the Filipino Independence Day Parade that I made a video about. I think this book is a great example of how to do that extremely well. And also letting go of the dogma of not shooting the parade, because there are photos of like the sport events that he went, and they're still interesting frames. So, shoot the parade, shoot whatever's interesting. Don't try to pigeonhole yourself into like only shooting photos of crowds or not shooting the event. Yeah, so that book's kind of been circling my mind over the past couple months as I shoot these events and as I plan the rest of my year going to like state fairs and stuff like that. So Todd Papa George, American Sports 1970, great book. The last thing I would say is a couple of days ago, last week, Kazu put me on to this photographer, Sergio Pertel, and he just put a book out. It's called Moral Minority, and just looking at the photos from the order page from the website that it's on, it looks incredible. It kind of has like a Sage Sohir, Baldwin Lee type look to it, which is what I've been really into this year. So it was an instant order for me. I don't know much about him or much about the book, so I'm excited to get my hands on that and kind of do a deep dive. The book itself is pretty big. It's like 184 pages, so yeah, I'm looking forward to looking at those photos and seeing what all of that's about. Yep, those are 3 things that have been recently inspired me this year. Anyways, catch you guys in the next one. Do all the YouTube stuff, make a comment. If you made it this far and there's something that has inspired you, leave that in the comments. Anyways, peace.
Now when they see us in the streets, all they wanna do is take pics, and I'm like,